Just 6 months ago, Prime was reselling on eBay for over $100,000. But now grocery stores are forced to market at $1 or less in order to sell it.
Logan Paul, he's no stranger to controversy.
There's a new warning for parents and kids about energy drinks. Maybe you've seen Prime Energy on social media.
The drink is getting so much negative attention, schools are actually banning it.
It's just like the most sugary drink that doesn't have sugar in it. And then you look at the sodium level, it's like 1,000 milligrams.
Logan Paul, the influencer turned businessman, is responding to accusations that his energy drink is unsafe for children.
If you've been on YouTube lately, you might have noticed kids freaking out over Prime.
Are you guys targeting children?
When Prime was first launched in January 2022, it was one of the most hyped products of all time. We want Prime! We want Prime! It was estimated to be worth $3.2 billion. But fast forward only 2 years, and Prime sales have fallen 50% year over year. So what in the world happened? To find out, we need to rewind all the way back to the original launch day to understand the whole picture. Prime had a great origin story. Logan Paul and KSI, two rivals in the boxing ring, united together to form their own product and company. And the hype was insane. Remember, this was pre-Feastables, pre-Joyride, pre-Lunchly. Prime was the first huge YouTuber product that went super mainstream, and viewers could not be more excited to absolutely yeet their money at Logan Paul and KSI. Every week, it seemed like Prime would announce they signed a new athlete, team, or celebrity. I mean, come on, they literally sponsor FC Barcelona. This same guy is now partnering with one of the most valuable sports teams in the world. Prime was parodied on South Park, and Logan Paul was pulling millions of views on videos that were essentially just ads. And upon launch in the UK, KSI's home country, the hype only got crazier.
We just launched Prime in the UK.
Let's go! The Brits' hysteria was almost as if the king himself launched a product, and there was a period where you literally could not find Prime in a store in the UK. Mobs of people were hitting the supermarkets in order to score Prime for themselves. Huge difference from now. Prime became so rare that it was selling on eBay for over £100,000. That is literally more than some yachts. By the end of 2022, Logan Paul and KSI had sold $250 million of Prime in just their first year of existence. Prime was looking posed to pass Gatorade heading into 2023. And that's exactly what happened. In 2023, Prime became the most sold hydration beverage in Walmart, surpassing Gatorade. They continued to sign more and more sports teams and even had a Super Bowl commercial. 2 YouTubers had a Super Bowl commercial. That is wild. Prime took over in 2023 and they absolutely shattered their revenue from 2022. They went from $250 million to $1.2 billion in sales in 2023. And the biggest launch for Prime in 2023 was Prime Energy, which brought in revenue from a whole new audience. But Prime Energy is also what started the beginning of the end. See, the notable thing about Prime Energy is that each can contains 200 milligrams of caffeine. And since Prime's main audience is kids, a lot of people became incredibly concerned about selling energy drinks in tandem with the normal hydration drink.
Lawmakers and health officials asking the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime.
Are you guys targeting children?
That's such a heavy claim.
Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime.
Then, in March of 2023, several schools in Australia banned Prime Energy. In Australia and New Zealand, the legal limit for caffeine is 32 milligrams per 100 milliliters, and Prime contains 56 milligrams per 100 milliliters. And this is where the bad press began to snowball for Prime. In the United States, Prime's largest market, Chuck Schumer called for the FDA to investigate Prime due to its high caffeine content. And as Mr. Beast can tell you, once you start to get a bit of bad press, the doors become wide open. In August of 2023, there was a lawsuit against Prime for having forever chemicals in the beverage. Ultimately, Prime was far under the legal limit, and this was debunked pretty quickly. The problem is that forever chemicals in Prime are now inevitably linked, even despite it not being true. And that leads us to 2024, which is where we begin to see the fall of Prime in earnest. This next statistic should have investors shaking in their boots. In the first quarter of 2024, Prime sales in the UK are half of what they were in the first quarter of 2023, dropping from £26.8 million to £12.8 million. Needless to say, to see your sales cut in half in just 1 year is a deeply worrying sign. Now, there's three main reasons why I think we're seeing this fall off of Prime, and the first of those is the lawsuits I mentioned earlier. Logan Paul addressed these lawsuits, but they still taint the company's reputation. The next reason beyond the fall off is simply because a product cannot live on hype alone. Upon launch, Prime had unbelievable hype behind it, signing the most famous athletes and teams. It was fresh, new, and groundbreaking. You couldn't go onto the YouTube homepage without seeing it plastered everywhere. There are YouTube shorts about Prime that have garnered 100 million views, but eventually people tire of seeing the same type of content. Only so many people can make Prime tier list before it gets repetitive and no one watches. Initial hype is definitely great for any product, but when the hype eventually dies down, you need a good product left standing. But a lot of people say they don't like Prime.
Oh my God, that's awful.
So if you don't have a good product, what do you have left? Well, the names behind the drink, of course, Logan Paul and KSI, which leads us to the main reason for the decline of Prime. Logan Paul and KSI themselves. When Prime was launched in 2022, the reputations of Logan Paul and KSI were in a pretty good spot. I mean, sure, Logan Paul will always have the Japan Forest thing, but after vlogging for a few years and launching Impulsive, people seemed back on Logan's side. In 2022, he launched Prime and he signed with the WWE, and he was kind of elevated to beyond social media. And compared to Logan Paul's past, KSI is an utter angel. He's never had any major controversy, and upon Prime launch, the Sidemen were at an all-time high. But over the last 2 years, both creators' reputations have fallen. To begin with, the biggest hit was that of CryptoZoo. CryptoZoo was launched in 2021 during the height of crypto and NFT hype and was co-founded by none other than Logan Paul.
The thing that I'm most excited for, and this is the first time I've ever said anything about this, for the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project.
Over the first year, Logan Paul used his platform to get people to invest in CryptoZoo, but it went bankrupt, losing investors hundreds of thousands of dollars, a lot of them Logan's own fans. And honestly, it all kind of flew under the radar for a little bit until CoffeeZilla's infamous video exposing it all. That video was released at the very end of 2022, and Logan Paul's reputation began to freefall into 2023. A class action lawsuit was filed in February 2023, and the CryptoZoo scam remains a shadow over Logan Paul today. But the real dislike for both Logan Paul and KSI has really skyrocketed in the last couple months. See, in the past, KSI has been a relatively steady presence. Sure, there were a few things he did that warranted hate, but that all changed with the launch of Lunchly. With Lunchly being introduced, KSI went down a dark road. Dan TDM has his now infamous tweet against Lunchly, which KSI refused to accept. He tweeted numerous times about Dan TDM and then claimed it was all to promote his new song.
I just do it because I know it
pisses people off. Bro, I look on Twitter and I go, oh wow, these people actually care. I'm using it as promo for my song. Oh my God, bro.
And let's talk about Thick of It. This was one of the most meme songs in existence and inspired nothing but hate from his audience. Sure, KSI reacted to the hate, garnered a lot of views, but it also severely damaged his reputation and made it okay to hate on KSI. I mean, the song has almost 4 million dislikes, come on. And if we cycle back, the thing that launched all of this hate towards this duo was the introduction of Lunchly, which ironically includes the very product that is now on death's edge, Rhyme. People hated Lunchly, and having additional connection to Mr. Beast, who at the moment is not the most loved creator, plummeted Logan and KSI's reputations even more. There's now an extreme backlash against these three. Hating on the trio of Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul has become so accepted due to multiple scams and shady business practices by these creators themselves. The diehard fans are becoming less and less, and the casual supporters are falling off. And ultimately, when all of Prime is built on the backs of Logan Paul and KSI's fans, if the fans cease to exist, so will the company.